Hey, so as we predicted, yeah, they decided to release something, not a trailer, thank God, but it was the casting. We know about it, we're aware of it. It doesn't affect this video realistically, because I don't know who these two are. But, and nor does Olivia. We haven't watched Maze Runner, was it, that she was in?
Yeah, we haven't watched Maze Runner or, what was the other one?
This was meant to just be short. Anyways, at the end of the day, yeah, we are very aware of it, and it doesn't change anything in this video. We're still kind of, I think, in the same place. Let's hope to God that this makes sense in the future, because I'm really hoping the trailer doesn't drop soon. It shouldn't, but hey. Hello everybody, welcome to Nostalgia Goggles. This is a different one and a weird one because we're kind of just making a weird prediction video and a conversation piece video. I'm Cass, also known as Retro Gaming Nerd, and I'm here with my co-writer on my show.
Hi, I'm Olivia, and today let's talk some Zelda, right?
Yeah, we're talking about the Zelda movie. The Zelda movie is on the horizon of 2027, debatably. Movies are working weirdly fast in our lifetime. I remember it taking longer, and it makes sense that they're faster. The idea has been gotten down, and the concept has been gotten down, but I haven't been on a professional set, so I don't know how long it takes. But this movie, because it sounds like they didn't even have a cast until now. Right?
Which is wild to think about, like
that they can project a time, and it makes sense. Like I said, movies have gotten faster, but I think it's about time that I want to talk about this because me and you were actually talking about this movie because we have another video very similar to this one about the Mario movie upcoming, but we were talking about what we think on a couch, and so we're like, yeah, I might as well record this now. I have a lot more to say on it than I do. So
for sure.
With that being said, I think the thing that's interesting about this Zelda movie is that there's a lot of just lack of knowledge, obviously. They're playing this one very close to the chest and hush-hush. As I say this right now, watch as they release a trailer or something.
Oh my God.
Watch as they throw us off. Because that's the thing about the Zelda movie is that it's been such a weird stop-and-go place of existing in that, like, you know, that like, hey, it's happening, and then we hear nothing, and then, you know, we see a announcement and then nothing, and so on and so forth. And it's funny because this actually movie, for production notes, actually overlaps with you, believe it or not, because we just did a video with the man in the concept-ish, because you did an episode on Fantastic Four, and if you want to explain what I'm talking about, there is an overlap between me and you in this episode.
Yeah, so funny story. So if you're new to the channel, I do a couple segments on comic books and comic book media, and that particular one I just did is one called Untold Stories, where I cover dead and buried projects that are related to comics. And the one I just did on the Fantastic Four 1994 movie brings up the producer Avi Arad. Now, Avi Arad is the brains behind, well, part of the production brains of movies like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man and like a lot of the classic Marvel movies, but he also, under his belt, has done a lot of video game movies, or at least has tried a lot. And the only 3 pieces of information that I have heard about the Zelda movie are rumors about the casting, which is very unconcrete. It is a rumor. There is nothing confirmed. The release date, and then that Avi Arad is the producer.
Which is interesting because this is the first time that he has, I believe, a video game movie under his belt. This is an episode without research, so we'll put a thing somewhere on the screen if we are incorrect. This video isn't even about him, so that's why I'm not worried about it. These are meant to be predictions, and we're already 3 minutes in, and we're goofing around.
Okay.
So it's kind of like, it's more predictions and how I feel and thoughts, because even my Minecraft video wasn't about Minecraft. It was about me coming to terms with maybe one of my favorite game franchises finally becoming a movie. And weirdly enough, this is something I've always wanted. Ever since I was little, I've seen Ocarina of Time and Wind Waker, and I said, man, this would be a really, really great movie. And I've always wanted to see a Zelda movie. As I got older, I started to get afraid because video game movies never hit that mark. And I think a lot of people are in this weird place where I am, right? They're in the same place that I am at, where they're afraid of this movie and they're looking at it and being like, yeah, this is a scary concept, because video game movies have a terrible track record. Yes, we have Sonic. Yes, we have Mario.
Yeah. No.
But that's two, right? And we have a few other good ones, a lot of good obscure ones, you know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like Fatal Fury was phenomenal, and
I will give the first Tekken movie some credit. That wasn't
Nope.
You don't think so?
it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
But that's the thing is, and that to be fair here, that's like a lower budget too.
Yeah.
Right? I think the thing is, when it comes to Hollywood itself, right, there's issues. But then again, we've also had some amazing adaptations. I think Fatal Fury goes into that. You know, I like
sure.
the Tekken one, First Blood or whatever it was, or
Yeah.
yeah.
The funky one.
Is it that funky? Really?
Well, that's not fair of me to say, but you're
Yeah.
talking about the prequel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that one. I like that one a lot, you know? And, you know, there's a lot of that. But I think one of the things that I really want to talk about, right, with this one is where do I think this movie's going to go, right? And where do we think this movie's going to go? Me and you definitely disagree on where this movie's going to go. And I kind of have some predictions. I think that when it comes down to what this movie is going to look like, I want to say that Breath of the Wild might be it, but I'm really, the more that I say that, despite the fact that it is the most popular Zelda game, I feel like it's going to sit more on the line of classic Zelda, because I think it's going to follow the Mario movie, right? And play it as safe as possible. We might see something like a Sheikah Slate or like a wink at it. Like, for instance, we might get a wink at the sword being Fi, you know, like the sword might glow a little bit, or there might be like the little sound effect she makes. But that's as far as it goes, and I think that that's what this movie is going to be full of. A lot of like, right? At best. Because I think that that's what this movie's going to be. It has to be as general as possible. And I think Breath of the Wild hits that, but I also feel like, as you've said to me, it doesn't, because it is so specific. I think the narrative is either going to be closer to A Link to the Past or Ocarina of Time. I feel like leaning more towards Ocarina of Time, but I feel like the look and feel of the movie is going to be closer to Twilight Princess, with a, you know, not the monster design though. I think that might be too intense for this movie.
Right. I think going off of, like, are we going off of what we want? We're going off of what we think is going to see.
Yes.
What we think is.
Yes.
So going off of that, my guess, when we first heard about the Zelda movie, my guess is that we're going straight up. Yes, we're going to combine the lore a little bit, but I was always kind of thinking in the camp of they're going to adapt Zelda 1. They're going to keep it, I know, like, as you brought up to me earlier, they're probably going to want Zelda to take a more active role.
See, I'm going to stop you. Why? Want me to tell you why I know it's not going to be Zelda 1?
Why?
Their promotion was the Master Sword, I think. Wasn't it? No, it was just a Triforce. I think that's the fan stuff that keeps showing the Master Sword.
Oh, yeah,
but I still don't think it's going to be Zelda 1 because the Master Sword isn't in that game.
No, I know. Because here's the thing. Because here's follow me on my train of thought, if you will. I think, because here's the thing. Because what I think is Zelda 1 and Breath of the Wild have the major thing in common is they are both very freeform. It's a lot of open space, a lot of empty stuff that you can do a lot with. So following that idea, the strengths of Breath of the Wild are there without it being identifiable as being, oh yeah, that's Breath of the Wild, so that's what I expect. You get what I mean?
I still disagree, because the biggest problem with that is that there's no characters, right? So it's a lot harder to sell people on that concept, where Mario always has Luigi, always has Peach. Zelda, it's just Link. And that's where this movie that's another fear of this movie, is that what are you gonna do? Who are you gonna add? And that's why I said Breath of the Wild is the easier option, but I think with two reasons. One, the turnaround, that's not possible. I think the thing is, me and you are in the same camp, it's just we're ignoring the middle. And that middle is, I think, the closest this movie is going to be is either Twilight Princess and, like I said, Link's Awakening, and I think it's gonna be closer to Link's Awakening, because Link's Awakening hits all of those marks, and also there's just so many, like, that one has more lore than any of the other ones, it feels, because A Link Between Worlds.
So you're talking about Link to the Past, not Link's Awakening.
A Link to the Past, yes.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry, I keep saying that because, you know.
Well, I did that earlier, so I think I gave it to you.
No, I've been doing that since I was little, actually.
Aw.
Because it came out around the same damn time.
No, yeah, they did.
But the thing is, I think A Link to the Past is going to be where we go, because it gives you the Dark World, it gives you Ganon, it gives you characters, it gives you the Master Sword, but in this classic fashion. You also have a twist you can do. You can have low rule, right? Ganon might not even be the villain solidly, you know? You can have a low rule kind of take, and I think that might just be the way they go. Does that mean that's correct? No. I don't know where they're going, but I feel like that's the safest one to go with, or Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we are ignoring the giant elephant in the room that is Ocarina of Time, because Ocarina of Time also does, as we've also, you've said it in your reviews, how cinematic the cutscenes are. It wouldn't surprise me if they just basically drag and drop that into the movie itself.
Yes, but I think the problem, once again, is that Ocarina of Time is kind of hard.
No, Ocarina of Time would be challenging because, like I said, if you commit... This comes into the idea of if you commit too hard to one specific game, that sets up people for what they expect. It's that problem of, like, if you say, oh, this is Marvel Civil War, you're going to expect Civil War.
And I think the problem is it's not going to be Ocarina of Time as well, because I feel like it's just too... I think the biggest problem is this movie is going to be general. Right?
Yeah.
This movie is going to be a general movie like Sonic, like Mario, like Minecraft, and so on and so forth.
Because it's safe.
And I think the thing is, you keep wanting to have a solid adaptation where it's not going to be.
No.
And that's why I think A Link to the Past is going to be it. Because you can just throw anything and everything. Hell, even A Link Between Worlds did that, because in your house, Ravio has Majora's Mask.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to just yada yada, and heck, actually, you could just do A Link Between Worlds, and it could be fine.
It could be. No, it could be.
I think it's definitely going to be, because what I think I would prefer, now this is what I'd prefer Skyward Sword. Skyward Sword is a perfect setup to the whole lore, and then it could just push you into the world by going, this is the start, right?
Yeah, because, like, as we were talking about earlier, because, that sets up almost all of your lore. That sets up the goddesses, that sets up Demise, that sets up the chain.
Well, not just Demise, but Ganon, and so, like, you could look at Demise, especially if you're playing, especially if you're playing Tears. You can look at Demise and go, that's just Ganon. Yeah, okay, I see the curse, I get it,
Yeah, not to mention, then it also gives you a small core cast to work with, where you have Link, you have Impa, you have Bruce, you have Zelda.
And you can add more characters, but see, once again, that's the problem, is we're asking for an adaptation, a one-to-one adaptation, that's not going to happen. I think, at best, we're going to have, as I've said to you, this movie is going to be more like the mangas than the games, because the mangas have a short amount of time, unless you're Twilight Princess, that, and even then, that's a short amount of time. That's only like 15 books once again, we're not accurate, we're not... As you can tell, we're rambling. We're not sitting here knowing our knowledge here. But I think that, with that being said, they're going to be closer to the mangas, because those have a set amount of time. They embody the perfect ideas of the Zelda franchise, and they, without having to, like, be boring and slog down with the dungeon crawl, right? They have it, but not too much. From the Super Nintendo manga to the manga we got around our time, I think that those are what we're probably going to be looking about. Those are probably what we're going to be looking at as the idea of what the movie is going to be.
Yeah, the kind of the best case scenario of where it pulls a lot from the source material, but then it also will deviate and add in some own things to either explain something or kind of flesh out aspects.
Not exactly. See, once again, you're coming back what I think as the perfect adaptation, right? The one-to-one adaptation. I'm thinking, once again, I'm saying it's gonna, like, I'm talking about, like, the structure of the movie is gonna be like... You are right, because, I'm sorry, because, for me, my brain goes, an adaptation is easy, but I know that can be so divisive.
So I understand that, that's not what's gonna happen.
And I could be completely wrong, right? I think that Nintendo could possibly prove me wrong, and maybe they will decide specifically, but Mario didn't, right?
Yeah.
Mario didn't, because Mario was not a one-to-one. Actually, we saw a one-to-one Mario, which was the Mystery of Peach, I don't remember the name, but the OVA, right? The OVA was a lot more openly Mario 1, right? Like,
right.
And both
movies are good in
their own right. Yes. But that one was more specific, where the movie wasn't, because if that's what I would expect, that's what I would want, is more specific to Mario 1, which we'll talk about more in our Mario video. That one's going to be more written, because I have more to say on it, but not that I have more to say, it's just it's less passionate and more like, I'm able to be more grounded on the Mario video than this one, because there's nothing here. Once we get a trailer, once I get the feel of what it is, I can probably predict what we're going to get. But I think that, it's like I said, I feel like the story is going to be more like the mangas.
Yeah.
Just because of that. But I still think before you go into this movie, I think you should expect what they did with Mario. Super general until they show a trailer.
Right.
Because, and the thing is, I think we'll know, right? Because there's only 4 ways to really go, right? There's either the classic Twilight Princess, Breath of the Wild, or Wind Waker, which we know is not happening.
Oh god, no.
Wind Waker is completely out of the question, but I think that at the end of the day, we'll know what this vibe is, either if Link wears green or blue.
Yep, exactly. I think I've just figured out, like, the best way to explain what I'm hoping for. You know that speech Zelda gives in Breath of the Wild to the champions, where she there's a bunch of references to the other Zelda timeline?
Yeah.
That's the best case scenario.
Yeah, well, the thing is, and that's the thing about this, is that I want a lot of people to realize is that, like, this movie could possibly be dog water, right? This could possibly kill the steam train of Nintendo movies.
Yeah.
And that's probably why Mario's coming out first.
Definitely.
Right? Because, like,
it's a parody.
It's bracing.
Yeah.
It's them getting ready, because Mario, no matter what, is probably going to do good, right? Because
For
they
sure.
already have a formula, but Zelda is the, like...
It's riskier.
Yes, and with that being said, I think before we start getting worried about the movie, which is fair to, it's fair to with the team, you know, but even then, bad teams and bad writers, I'm not even saying that this movie has those, but they produce good movies.
Yeah, we know so little that we are only solely going off of vibes.
But I want to say this, and this is a bold take that may be disagreed with, but in my opinion, that Zelda, in comparison to other adaptations, this is easier. Because we have a template, we have a what not to do and what to do. And I feel, in all honesty, yes, Hollywood can screw this up. Just look at Minecraft.
Yeah.
But I don't think Nintendo wants that. I don't think Nintendo will allow it. And I also want to say that, in my opinion, here's the bold take, I don't fear this because Lord of the Rings exists.
Yeah. I was just saying,
and that's a more terrifying adaptation. And with that being said, Lord of the Rings is lightning in a watch out bottle, because it just worked, right? It was not perfect. If you are a Lord of the Rings book reader, you have issues. I've heard people say it has issues, but it is an amazing adaptation.
Yeah.
It is an amazing amount of will, and it's more time than Zelda has, obviously. Right? If I had it my way, I would want the time they put into Lord of the Rings into this movie, but that's just not happening.
Right.
Also because film production is different. But and here's the reason why I say Lord of the Rings, is because Lord of the Rings, in my opinion, is the best case scenario, but the reason why I say Lord of the Rings is because it has an alternative, and that is The Hobbit.
Yeah.
I like The Hobbit. I
did not love that they made sequels, but
yes,
I like The Hobbit.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I just think that the way they did it was bad.
Yeah.
But, and I don't even know if I 100% like The Hobbit, because the problem is it was on for noise, you know?
Yeah.
So, I like The Hobbit. I like the way it kind of, I guess, I don't exactly know if I like The Hobbit. I'm just saying, I liked The Hobbit when I saw it in theaters, right?
Yeah.
But I know it's divisive, and it makes sense that it's divisive. But once again, that wasn't lightning caught in a bottle twice. I think that that's where we're at. We're at the Zelda's The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings at the same time.
Yeah. And it's very much a Schrodinger's cat. We are not going to know until we open the box.
Yeah. And
no, and I was just going to say, and yeah, it's one of those things of also, like, everyone's being so tight-lipped about it, or there's so little info.
Which is good. Which is
great. I'm happy with that.
After all, the Switch 2 got blown out of the water, so I'm surprised that they're so quiet on this one. The moment we're gonna see stuff soon.
Yeah, we're going to.
Because I heard casting has happened, or is happening now.
Yeah.
And if that's true, and when it goes into production next year, this year, we're gonna see stuff. We see stuff for bigger movies.
For sure.
So, all in all, to wrap this up, the thing is, I don't even know, we just kind of had the Zelda podcast. But my predictions for this movie is that I think right now, we are in a good place, hopefully. I can't say that optimistically either, right? Because the biggest thing that sucks about this video is that that we're so early on, is that this could be an easily, like, debunked video, right?
Right.
And if I change my opinion, I'm gonna change the name of this to I Was Wrong, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't know, because Hollywood is really the big catch here. We are fans, right? And that also means that we're missing. We're not even the direct audience, right?
Right.
Because as one of my favorite people in the world, Chris from the comic store, he said, "You're somebody that will look at this movie and say, 'Hey, I want the controller. You're doing it wrong.'" where I'm somebody that doesn't know what's going on with it, and I may enjoy it regardless.
Right.
And that's an amazing point.
It is an amazing point. And honestly, yeah, that is something we are both massively overlooking. They're going to try to make this the most general, enjoyable experience for the most general audiences.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm fairly confident that that's going to be a good experience for everyone in general. That's what my hope, because Nintendo is so protective of its quality. But,
But also clearly not, because of the people that they chose.
Right.
But then again, with that being said, Illumination was the same way. People were saying stuff about it when it was first shown, and I was like, it's fine. And so it could be that way, except it might be in reverse. I might not say it's fine. Who knows?
Yeah.
I think the biggest problem is that Zelda is not Mario.
Yeah, this is a bigger risk, and it's going to be a little bit of a harder sell because it doesn't have the same recognizability as Mario.
It
does, but
it's just it's not as safe.
Yeah.
And I will say that this movie needs to succeed if Nintendo wants to make more serious movies.
For sure.
Because if this one flops, Metroid's gone, Star Fox... I was going to say Star Fox, I was going to lie to y'all and say that Star Fox was going to happen. That shit ain't going to happen.
I almost did the same thing because I was like, we had no F-Zero movie, guys. I'm not going to promise anything.
Listen, if F-Zero gets to be a movie, I'll be upset. Because of that F-Zero and Star Fox, if they get movies, it's one of those come on, really? But and to be fair here, that's not a problem either. That would be good if Nintendo actually used their goddamn IPs, right? Too bad if they made a Star Fox movie, it would just be Star Fox 64 all over again.
Yeah.
They make two movies. They make Star Fox, they cancel Star Fox 2, reboot it with 64, and then they make an Assault movie, and then they just reboot 64 again. There was a mini-series called Command Mission that was dramatically different, and depending on what day you watched it, it had different endings and different people in it, but it didn't work out too well. It was a little too weird, despite the fact that streaming is great right now. But we eventually come back. They call the movie Star Fox Zero. They add robots. They add beginning of the movie. They add a Slippy side story that nobody really cares about. Not really many people talk about it. It was an interesting concept, but they release it.
And people get into fights about the Easter egg about Andros there's an Easter egg from the manga from Nintendo Power for no reason.
Was that in the game, Zero?
No, that's just something. I'm just adding to the chaos.
Oh. No, okay.
I know what you were doing. No,
okay,
I know.
So to explain the joke, it was that I just recapped what.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
No, I get the joke, and I'm sorry.
Well, no, you threw Andros in there, what? And to be fair here, if you guys are Star Fox fans and you really want that vibe, maybe a Fox in Space is for you.
Yeah.
But that's not. I don't think that has a new thing lately, but Anyways, I think two things that I do want to say though. I would like to see an animated Zelda movie, though. I don't want to sound like a Sonic movie fan, where I want to be like, oh, well, it's not animated, so I'm happy with what we get. But at some point, I'd like to see an animated Zelda movie, because Mario did so good. I think I'd prefer to see Breath of the Wild, but if you must have a live-action Zelda movie, I think back in the 2000s in Japan, I would love to see a Four Swords Zelda movie, because the commercials were based off of that, and they were puppets. I would love to see a puppet Zelda movie like that, because that's just so wild, right? I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be fun, so and it would throw so many people off. I know it would be so divisive, but I think a puppet movie in the Four Swords having these, puppets kind of fight each other the whole way through, and I don't know, I think it'd be fun.
That sounds adorable, honestly. I don't know.
Super slapsticky movie. Oh, it wouldn't work at all, but...
It would, no, yeah, absolutely not. But you know what? I'd rather have something silly than just something terrible.
Mm-hmm. So if you could have your perfect Zelda movie, what would it be?
My perfect Zelda movie? Oh boy, probably something in the vein of I would just...
Okay, just give us your perfect Zelda movie. You do this thing where you're where you're trying to give a safe answer. Don't give me a safe answer. Cause I just literally said I want puppets. Give me your answer. I said stupid answer, but that's not fair. Give me your answer of what you want, not the safe answer.
Okay, what I would want would just be for them to buckle down and just choose a game. Just adapt one. Either give me Skyward Sword or give me Twilight Princess.
Okay,
Twilight Princess will be weird, though, because then people are like, oh, why doesn't he turn into a wolf all the time? But either that, I just would want them to pick a game and go with it. But
okay, so I'm gonna translate that in Olivia language. What she really wants, she wants a Wind Waker movie because she feels like that could actually be a series, because there is a series that goes with Wind Waker.
okay, fine. Yes, there is, but I was like, I can't expect people to watch Link on a boat for an hour and a half.
But it wouldn't be that.
Okay, fine, yeah, no. Well, that one would be good because then there's Link and there's Medley and Makar and Tetra. Tetra alone is a huge selling point because that's Zelda, but she does shit.
And then there's also a built-in series with Phantom Hourglass and then Spirit Tracks, yeah.
Yeah, one of the better incarnations of Ganon, and you get both, so Link constantly has someone to talk to.
The King of Red Lions.
Yes, the King of Red Lions. So you constantly have that, and also just the lore is really deep and sad.
Why didn't you just say you wanted a Wind Waker?
Because I feel weird when I bring up Wind Waker.
Why?
Because
is it 2003 all over again?
No, because it's like...
Holy shit, dude. I made a whole video on that shit, dude. Watch that one, please. But
yeah. It's a good video. Watch it, please.
That sounds... yeah, that's...
I'm not saying it just because I worked on it.
with that being said, thanks for watching. I have no clue how you guys feel about these kind of videos, right? Because,
yeah, I don't know.
We don't really do these, and this is gonna have to hopefully be cut down a lot. But
let us know what you guys think in the comments below.
And what kind of Zelda movie would you guys want, and what are your predictions? We didn't really give too many predictions. I think more or less of this video is really us talking ourselves down off of a cliff.
Basically, but yeah, prediction: general Zelda movie, fantasy. You want it based off of
fantasy. I want something more like Lord of the Rings.
Yes.
The intensity and the love.
Yes. I just want Wind Waker.
Yeah, play Wind Waker.
Yeah,
but I mean, hey, it's on NSO now. But with that being said, though, yeah, no, I guess really the best way to put it is my thoughts. It's gonna be a general Zelda movie that's more closer to the mangas, right? And yes. I feel like there's not much to really fear until we see it. And I feel like the prediction is we're gonna know. And I don't know, because see, here's the biggest thing to end this off. The biggest thing is, even if this movie shit, it's gonna do well, because Minecraft did well. Yep. And Minecraft is, in my opinion, the worst case scenario of a video game movie, because you could go like, oh well, it's good. What if it's something like Doom? It won't be, right? I don't think it'll be something like Doom. I don't think it'll be something.
That's a whole nother topic for another.
I know, but I don't think it'll be like the worst case scenario. I said Doom. Wow. I think Alone in the Dark is the worst case scenario.
Yeah,
So yeah, let's wrap it up. Let's wrap it up. Yep. So with that being said, we'll see you guys next time on Nostalgia Goggles. I'm doing a Mario video like this. If you guys like these, please let us know in the comment section, because we talked for 30 minutes. Yeah. 30 minutes. Yeah.
So we would love to hear your thoughts. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time here on Smash Pack.
Yeah, please, Nostalgia Goggles. Please check out Out of Ink.
Oh, thanks, babe. Bye.